Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Seperti biasa, kita ni akan memulakan sesi pembelajaran kita ni dengan berselawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW selama 2 minit. Terlebih dahulu, kita ni membaca 3 niat penting ini. Yang pertama, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Yang kedua, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah SAW. Dan yang ketiga, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah SAW di akhirat kelak. Semoga dengan berselawat, Allah akan membukakan hati dan minda para pelajar untuk menerima ilmu dan memanfaatkan ilmu tersebut di masa akan datang. Disarankan kepada semua pelajar untuk membaca doa di dalam hati selama 2 minit berselawat. Doa untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga, diri sendiri dan apa saja doa yang ingin para pelajar sampaikan. Okay? 2 minutes from now.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmatmu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmatmu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, amin, amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Our topic for this session will be topic 1.9.2, linear patterns and integer sequence. Okay, so can you please get ready with your notes, page 59 until 62. Your worksheet will be page 57 until 58. Okay, now learning outcomes means what student should get after learning this lesson. Okay, at the end of the lesson, students should be able to describe and continue linear growing patterns and sequence of integers. Linear is the keywords. Linear and sequence of integers. Sequence of integers can be variety. Alright. Step to success. How are you going to achieve the learning objectives? First, student able to identify linear sequence and applying rules UN equal to dn plus c. So there will be characteristic that you can see on the sequence which show that that sequence is linear sequence. Okay. Second, student able to construct linear sequence rule. Okay. And lastly, describe different patterns of sequences of integers. Sequences of integers, it's variety. So different sequence will have different rules. So you need to able to identify the rule for each of the sequence of integers. Okay, first we will discuss linear patterns. What is linear patterns? A linear number patterns is a sequence of numbers whose difference between all the terms is the same. Okay, so this will be the definitions of linear patterns. Pay attention about that. Alright, and general rules UN equal to dn plus c. Alright, UN equal to dn plus c. So far, you already have two formula. Okay, first formula or rules to find triangle numbers, and second one here, formula or rules to find linear sequence. Okay, so UN's the n term. D is the common difference. Common means same, equal. Okay, C is constant. Constants here numbers. Okay, C here is numbers. Okay, D is the difference. So N is the number of terms. Okay, the number of terms. Now, example 5. State the rule for this sequence. If you are asked to find rules like these questions, so you need to apply the formula here. Okay, so you need to find the D first. Okay, you need to find D. So what is the common difference here? We have plus 6. Okay, so as you can see here, we have same difference. That is what we call as common difference. Okay, so D equal to 6. And then how you going to construct the rules? You choose any of these terms. Okay, any of these terms, and then apply the rules here to find C. Okay, to find C. That will be your first step. So here, if you choose 7, 7 is on first term. Okay, this is first term, second terms, third terms, fourth terms, sixth terms, and so on. So to be easy, you can choose the first term, and the position here, the number of terms will be 1. Okay, the number of terms here will be 1. So n here is 1, and here will be the n terms. Since you choose 7, so the n will be 1 because it is first term. If you choose 13, so right here the n should be 2 because 13 is in the second terms. Okay, if you still confused about this one, you can come and ask. Alright, so you solve this one applying your algebra here. That is why your algebra is very important. Alright, so C equal to, you should know how I get 7 minus 6. So C equal to 1. Once you already have this C, turn back into the rules. Okay, turn back into the rules un equal to dn plus c, and just change that d, substitute that 6 into this d, and substitute c here into that c. Therefore, the rule is un equal to 6n plus 1. Okay. Moving on, example 6. For the sequence 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, and 27, state the rule for this sequence. Okay, during exam, the sequence will be variety. Alright, so you test first the difference. Okay, you test first the difference between the first terms and the second terms, and the third terms, and the fourth terms, and so on. If you find out the difference is common, equal, so that means the sequence is a linear sequence, and you can apply the formula, the general formula of linear sequence. Okay, so let us test the difference. The difference between first and second terms here is 5 plus 5. Between second and third, plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. That means here the sequence is a linear sequence. So if you already know that sequence is a linear sequence, apply the rules here. Okay, apply this rule. Alright, then the workings will be repeat the same things. First, you need to find the C. Okay, first you need to find the C, and you can choose any of the n terms here. And for this working, I will choose the first terms. So the n terms will be 2, and the position here, the number of terms here will be number 1. Okay, terms in number 1. So change that n into 1. Alright, so 2 equal to 5 times 1 is 5, plus C equal to 2 minus 5. Okay, so 2 minus 5, and the answer will be C equal to minus 3. Okay, once you got that C, turn back to the rules, and the rules for this sequence will be UN. You must write this UN. Okay, UN equal to 5n minus 3. Okay, so part B, write down the next two terms. Since here we have the sequence, so you can just continue from the uh, list here. So continue the next two terms. So you will get 32 and 37. That will be your method 1. Okay, that will be your method 1. Your method 2, you apply this formula. Okay, you apply this formula. So term 7, so U7 equal to 5, and change into 7. Okay, 7 minus 3, so U7 will be 35, minus 3, U7 will be 32. We have same answer here. Okay, and terms 8, U8 equal to 5, bracket 8 minus 3, so U8 equal to 40 minus 3, U8 equal to 37. Okay, if you not confident with your rules here, if you think that your rules is incorrect, so you can just focus to the method 1. Okay, it's up to you in exam to use method 1 or method 2, but it is good for you to able to use the rules in the sequence. Okay, so the answer for part B will be 32 and 37. 32, 37. Next, example 7. For the sequence 7, 11, 15, 19, calculate the difference between successive or following in orders terms. B, determine the rules that generate the sequence. Again, you test for the difference first. Okay, so you test for the difference. So here we have common difference, which is plus 4. So the difference here will be plus 4. Okay, so or you can write just 4 like this. Okay, now define the rules. Since we have common difference here, therefore the sequence will be linear sequence. Okay, so you apply the formula of linear sequence, repeat the same thing. You got C equal to 3, and then turn to the rules. The rules is UN equal to 4. How we get that 4? The difference is 4. So 4 and C change into 3, constant, a number. Alright, so part B, the answer is 4n. Here you already have the UN, so you just continue with the right hand side, which is 4n plus 3. Okay, next example 8. One number is missing from the following sequence. Okay, write in the missing number, calculate the difference between successive following in order terms, determine the rows that generate the sequence. We repeat the same things. You find out the difference first. So as you can see here, the difference will be plus 5. Okay, and the missing number will be 16. 11 plus 5 will give you 16. Okay, and then determine the rules. So you can choose any of the n terms. Okay, any of the n terms, and here I choose term number 1. Okay, term number 1. So substitute 1 equal to 5 and change into 1 because the number of terms is 1. Okay, plus C. So 1 equal to 5 plus C. So C equal to 1 minus 5. C equal to minus 4. Okay, so once we got the C, turn back to the formula UN equal to 5n minus 4. Okay. Okay, moving on with example 9. A sequence has first term 20 and the difference between the terms is always 31. Okay, state the rules to generate the terms of the sequence. Here you already given that first terms. First term is 20 and the difference is always 31, means common difference is 31. So you can directly use the formula, the rules to find the linear sequence. UN equal to the n plus C, find that C, substitute the UN into 20 and n 1 because the terms is at the number 1, the first terms, okay? So you solve, you should get C equal to 31, C equal to negative 11. Okay, C equal to negative 11, and then turn to the formula, so UN equal to 31n minus 11. Okay, and then second one, part B, calculate the first terms of the sequence. First 5 terms, okay, first 5 terms of the sequence, and then you can use the formula here. Or you can use the common difference here to find the next term, another next term, another next term, and another next term. Okay, so first term is already given 20, so plus 31 you should get 51, plus 31 you should get 82, plus 31 you should get 113, and lastly plus 31 you should get 144. The next one will be integer sequence. An integer sequence is a sequence of integers. Okay, it can be varieties. Alright, and some of the sequences are first square numbers. The general rules of square number sequence will be n square. Alright, and the next one, cube numbers. The general rules of sequence of cube numbers will be n cube. Okay, actually this sequence, square number sequence and cube number sequence, you already exposed during primary. Okay, you just look at the square number here. All of the terms here are square numbers. Okay, so 1 square, 2 square, 2 3 square, 9 4 square, 16 5 square, 25, and so on. All right, while the cube numbers, all of the terms here will be cube numbers. Okay, 1 cube will be 1, 2 cube will be 8, 3 cube will be 27, and so on. Okay, the next one will be Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers actually found by an Italian mathematician named Leonardo Fibonacci, who noticed that many natural patterns produce the sequence. Okay, and here will be the sequence, or it can be formed like this, 0 in front. Alright, and how actually this Fibonacci numbers works, we add the two previous numbers to get the next terms. Okay, we add the two previous numbers to get the next terms. Or you can apply these general rules, xn equal to xn minus 1 plus xn minus 2, whereas xn is term number n, xn minus 1 is the previous terms, xn minus 2 is the term before that, and the you just need to apply the rules. Okay, if you need to solve the Fibonacci numbers by using sequence, or else you can just use this method, add the two previous numbers to get the next terms. Okay, now here I will show you how terms 9 is calculated. We apply the rules and substitute the n into 9, and here we got x8, so position at 8, terms 8 and term 7. Okay, now if I express this into table like this, you can see here for the first terms will be, and the n term will be 1. Okay, so 8 terms will be 21 and 7 terms will be 13. Okay, so from here, since the n terms 1 will the n terms for terms 1 will be 1, so you calculate from here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and add here. Okay, you add them up, you will get the 4, and you can check your answers into this table. So 9, the n term for 9 will be 34. That's it. Okay, so basically you just need to uh, remember, that Fibonacci numbers, we add the two previous numbers to get the next term. Just remember that one. Alright, this one is just for your extra knowledge. Moving on with example 10, set the rule of each of the following number patterns and write down the next two terms. Okay, so your task will be, first you need to set the rules, and second one you need to write down the next two terms. Okay, so for part A, you try to find the difference first. If you see here, we have common difference, so plus another 2, you will get 8, and plus another 2, you will get 10. Okay, so the rules for this one is add 2. Second one, if you look here, these actually are square numbers. So this sequence actually square number sequence. Okay, so 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, so 5 square will be 25, and 6 square will be 36. All right. And part C is Fibonacci numbers. If you look at the sequence like this one is Fibonacci number sequence. So add both of them. Sorry for that. I forgot about B, the rules. The rules for part B will be xn equal to n square. Okay, so back to this C. So we add these two terms, the answer will be the third terms like this. Okay, so repeat the same thing. We add these two terms, and the answer will be the terms for the next term here. All right, so 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 will be 8. And 5 plus 8 will be 13. Like that, okay? So what is the rules? You can put the rules like this. Xn equal to xn minus 1 plus xn minus 2. Or you can put the rules by saying add the two previous numbers to get the next terms. Okay? Add the two. Okay, part 2, fill in the missing numbers. A and B here. So the missing terms for A will be the second terms and third terms. And we have full terms at the back. So make use of these informations. How to get from -4 to -8? We subtract 4. Okay, so minus 4 will give you -8. And then from here, -8 minus 4 will get -12. Alright, then to get the second and third terms here, we need to reverse. So when we reverse, instead of -4, it will be +4. Reverse like this. So 0, reverse again, 4. And if you reverse, 4 plus 4 will get 8. Okay. The rules for part A actually subtract 4. But here we plus 4 because we are reverse. Okay. We are reverse from back to the front to get the second and the third terms. Right? For part B, you need to think about it properly. So, actually for part B, first terms we multiply by 3 to get the second terms. Okay? And how to get the third terms? This 44, the second terms, we divide by 2. You will get 24. And then repeat the same thing. Times 3, you will get 72. 72 divided by 2, you will get 36. 36, you multiply by 3 will give you 108. 108, if you divide by 2, you will get 54. Okay, so what is the rule for this part B? Part B, the rules will be first term multiply by 3 to get the second terms and divide by 2 to get the third terms. Okay, it's actually simple. Okay, but you need to be careful. Okay, the last part, write down the 7 and 10 terms of the number patterns. Use a calculator to check your answers. Okay, you can check the difference first. We have common difference here, so this is actually linear sequence. You can apply the rules, substitute the 13 here, and number of terms is number 1. So find out C, then turn to the rules. UN equal to 5n plus 8. Okay, 8 is from this C. Once you have these rules, you can calculate the patterns for 7, 100, or 7, 10, or even 100, okay, by just using the rules. So the 7 terms will be 43 and the 10 term will be 58. And then repeat the same things for part B, but here we have -60. Okay, repeat the same thing, you just substitute. You just need to substitute, but here I'm using the first line here, the first terms here, so 200. The number of terms is number 1. To find C, so C is 260. Return to the rules, UN equal to -60n plus 260. Okay, by having these rules, you can calculate the 7 terms, which is -160, and the 10 term, which is -340. This will be our last part for 1.9.2. Okay, thank you so much, and don't forget to complete your notes and hand in your worksheet.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni Astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.